Hello, so today I'm going to be doing an orchid showcase on May 2021's Pick My Orchid, which is Jong's Gigan Cherry crossed with Kingfisher's Dragon Wing from Norman's Orchids. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about the color, shape, and scent of the flower, and then I'm going to talk about the ancestry and why I'm not so pleased with how the flower came out, even though it's beautiful. So let's get into the flower specifics. So the color, as you can see, is a pink blush over a pale yellow background. And I don't know if it's picking it up on the camera, but the flowers are crystalline, so they have a little bit of a sparkle to them. They're star-shaped, typical of Polychilous Phalaenopsis. And the flowers themselves are a little bit reflexed, which I like because, sorry about that, because when you're viewing them from the side, you can still see a little bit of the flower detail, whereas when they're completely flat, when you look at them from the side, there's really nothing to see. Then the scent is pure Violacea. It smells just like cinnamon. It doesn't smell like any of the Venosa, Violacea, Ludemaniana, Amboinensis, or Gigantea that's in the background. It just smells like cinnamon. So now that we're done talking about the flower, let me get into the background of this orchid. So as you know, the cross is, let me show you the name tag so you can see it for yourself. The cross is Jong's Gigan Cherry Prince crossed with Kingfisher's Dragon Wing. So it is a cross that ends up being 28.91% Violacea, 28.13 Venosa, 25% Gigantea, 9.3% Ludemaniana, and 8.6% Amboinensis. So as you can probably see, this doesn't really look like any of its parents except for the Violacea. Honestly, this looks more like a Samara to me, but I'll leave that there. There is, from the range between Jong's Gigan Cherry, which has a lot of spots over a yellow background. I'll upload photos of the Jong's Gigan Cherry Prince right here. And the Dragon Tree Eagle basically looks like a Bellina. Most of the cultivars of the Dragon Tree Eagle, of the Kingfisher's Dragon Wing, just look like a fancy type of Bellina. And I'm going to insert pictures of Kingfisher's Dragon Wing here. So the issue with Kingfisher's Dragon Wing that I'm having is that back in the day, Phalaenopsis bellina used to be classified as Phalaenopsis violacea Borneo. So it was found on the Borneo island, and it was called Phal violacea var Borneo instead of Phalaenopsis bellina. And so a lot of the older hybrids will show that they were crossed with Violacea and not Bellina. And I think that's what happened with Kingfisher's Dragon Wing. Because as you saw in the photos, it has that characteristic Bellina color distribution. And what I mean by that is Bellinas have this sort of triangle. It's not so distinct on here, but basically the lower sepals are going to have a lot of dark pink coloration, and there's going to be a slight halo around the column, and that may enlarge or decrease depending on what cultivar of the Bellina species that you have. But you can see here that there's lots of coloration down here on the lower sepals, and not so much on the petals and the top sepal up here. And that is a characteristic of obviously the Bellina and also its hybrids. And I recommend all of you to go on orchidroots.com, look at the Phalaenopsis page, and go through the immediate offsprings, probably just the primary hybrids, but just go through the offspring and sort of see what characteristics Phalaenopsis lends to its hybrids, and you'll see that the what I call the triangle effect is characteristic of the Phalaenopsis. And it's unfortunate that the Phalaenopsis has such strong genes, or that it really passes on that triangle color so consistently, that if this is true to the name tag, if this is a Jong's Gigan cherry crossed with phal Kingfisher's dragon wing, it's unfortunate that the Phalaenopsis has come back from the depths of its ancestry and presented itself in such a strong fashion here, because I was really hoping for something with spots, something that looks more like either Norman's Orchid's sample photo that they have on the page, or what I found on orchidroots.com, and I'll insert both of those pictures here. And it's unfortunate that it didn't come out looking like either of those. So I'm thinking that I will probably end up doing a giveaway with this orchid, because it just really does not speak to me. I have tons of orchids that look like, not tons, but I have more than enough Phalaenopsis that look like this, and smell like this as well, that it doesn't really do anything for me. But hopefully it will do something for one of you. So yeah, that is my orchid showcase of phal Jong's Gigan cherry crossed with Kingfisher's dragon wing. A little bit longer than usual, but I kind of wanted to go into the ancestry of this orchid and sort of explain to you why it looks the way it is, and why I'm not particularly enthused with the way that it is, or the way that it's presenting itself. Anyways, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.